free SHS is sacrificing quality for quantity. Show your green card if you agree, or your red card if you disagree.
Okay, so for me, free SHS policy has been able to make more people attend schools because some Ghanaian parents don't have money to take their children to school. So I think the government did a really good thing by introducing the free SHS policy to ensure that everyone who completes the junior high school would be able to attend the secondary school and have an experience of how it is.
Yeah. This is a bit of a political thing because it's something that's out for political debate in the country now as we're speaking. But I feel free education, let me not say free SHS, free education is not only a thing here in Ghana. If you go to Western world, my cousins, my brothers who are not in Ghana are actually benefiting from free education and the quality is still being maintained. Yeah. The fact that the government has introduced a free education policy for them that they are enjoying does not mean that they have compromised on the quality. But what we have here in Ghana has to do with probably having right policies or right measures in place to actually control it or care, because out there in the Western world, even though they are free education, it's not everyone that actually goes in for it. There are some people that still go out, to private or the schools that they would actually, pay. And it's their choice. But over here, in terms of free SHS, like my friend said earlier, most of the elite schools are all public and everybody wants to be in the elite school. So it makes everybody come to the public school, which now some people are trying to come up with some arguments that is compromising on the quality. So for me, what I think is that policies and structures needs to be put in place well so that that thing can be properly, disseminated so that people can actually have the right quality of education that they need. And for me, I don't think that's a sacrificing quality for quantity. You can still have it and still maintain the quality.
Free SHS in Ghana is like, I don't know if I should say it's like a disaster. Cause like we are just flinty, there's nothing going on. And they teach and all that, but like we are okay. So in my school, my class, we were like 63, and that's just one track. Another track 60, and then every semester you spend like 2 months in school, and then you come and be in the house for like 3 months, and then you would have to go. So what happens to the people that don't have money to go to classes and all that? So like we was just focusing on getting people into this. It wasn't focusing on like the teaching. Yeah, because like when I was in form 2 or form 3, we were still doing form 1 topics because like there was no time. So the teacher would come and be like, go and learn. So like most of the things we do, we learned it ourselves. And the ones that were not able to learn, they were left behind. So I feel like they were just focusing on pushing people into the secondary school.
So I'm going to stay with Ghana. I'm not going outside anywhere. It's Ghana I am, and I'm going to stay with Ghana. The quality of the free SHS that is being sacrificed is because we don't have enough of the schools to accommodate the backlog of people that could not afford education, basic education. And now that it became free, they are like, oh, let me also go and have basic education. So if there was no backlog from people having not to have money to have the education, there will not be a lot of them that want to try and go to school at the same time. People have finished JSS 10 years, and they waited until the free education was implemented for them to go to SS because their parents could not afford SS.
Yeah.
So it is the country that we are, we don't have enough educational settings. Let's start from there. If you had enough educational settings, and the education at those times was very affordable for every menial parent to be able to afford to put 3 or 4 children in school. We don't have a backlog of people that want to come and go to free education. So that is where the quantity became a lot. There were a lot of people that wanted to, okay, let me also have a basic education. So we need to have a system in place that basic education should not be something that people should suffer for. Because if I have a basic education with my SS certificate, I can wait and go to university. I will do some work, get some money and go to university, But not with a SS certificate. I cannot go anywhere with just a certificate. Sometimes you go and learn trade, yes. But with an SS certificate, even if I get a visa to go to another country, I can still go to another school. But we didn't have that access of the education was, people have 4 children and the school fees was high. And they will be like, okay, then you go first. Let your brother wait. By the time the sister is waiting, then she get pregnant. Then the brother will finish. So if we had enough facility and the school fees was very affordable for everybody to be able to afford education. Other countries are able to afford education. That's why people decide that I won't go to free education. I can afford it. But we are in a country where poverty rate is high. You understand? So people cannot even afford basic education. So if something becomes free and they are all going, it's because I cannot afford it by myself. And now the government is making it available. Let me also take the opportunity to get at least a basic education to be able to have a certificate. That is how come the quantity became a lot. And doesn't mean because they are a lot, they were not teaching. I had cousins that did not go to private school. And when the private school brought her result in, and the free education that was doing double track brought her result in, we are asking the one that went to private school, what did she go and do in school? You understand? And it goes back to the mentor and how you were determining your free education to get a good grade. People went to free education and you see their result online. People are even ready to help them go to university because they got good grades. With this double track we are talking about, that was not good. You understand? So it is the country that we are. We need to talk about a lot of educational system need to be open. We don't have enough schools in Ghana. We have population of people that give birth to poor children. And in that place, they have only one school. How are they all going to go to that school? We need to have more schools. Then the quantity will reduce for the quality to be in the schools. That is what I think.
I think, and this is not political, so for everybody with a political lens, please, let's just settle the issues, discuss them as they are. I think, in my estimation, free SHS has sacrificed quality for quantity for a few reasons. For example, feeding, right? The commentary and the complaints around feeding was that before the free SHS policy was decentralized, right? So if I'm a headmistress of a school, I have 1,000 students, the school fees, I'm able to allocate this to that, and then I can run my school seamlessly. Now, everything became centralized, right? So you're sitting there waiting for central government to provide food for you. I think it sacrificed quality for quantity in terms of feeding, in terms of teaching. Feeding, I've already explained. Teaching, I heard about, is it the green, the gold, and the
double track.
The double track. I didn't hear any double track for teachers. So my thinking is that it's the same teachers who are teaching all year round. Isn't that exhausting, right? Yeah. For the same teachers to be teaching all year round with no rest.
They shifted.
Okay.
No, they shifted.
Okay, so that's it. They shift the teachers, right? So at least you have some teachers coming in and going. The issue is that are you able to have a lot of contact hours? Because I'm thinking that the class sizes would have also been large, right?
Yeah.
I mean, more than it would have been. So I'm just saying that free SHS, and I think the implementation was a little problematic. I think we've already established that the implementation had issues. But I think we were over-fixated on quantity than quality. Yes. I think it should have gone together. If the free SHS as we had it was giving us both quality and quantity at the same time, yeah, but that's not what I'm seeing, because I also have cousins and then nephews and nieces who are in schools, and they come and they tell you their experiences, like we are a lot, and then in the dorm, and then all that. So I think based on what I have heard from people who have gone through the tracks, who have gone through secondary school, they are telling me. I think the numbers is a problem. It's affecting feeding. It's affecting a whole lot of things, even the comfort of the students themselves. So I think this is not political, but I think that we should, in as much as we wanted to prioritize the quantity, I think we may have, whether consciously or unconsciously, taken away the fact that it has affected the quality as well.
I would also agree to the motion to the fact that I would always go for quality over quantity. And to be honest, let's say in 10 years to come, Ghana is going to have a set of a group of people who are all educated, but to what extent? How quality was the education? Let's say there wasn't free education, and let's say we would have 60% of our kids being educated. Let's say they are well educated, than to have 80% or 90% being partially educated. And secondly, I think Ghana wasn't ready for something like this, because not even most developed nations don't have anything like this. So I think it should have been free vocational.
They don't have free SHS, but they have free
Education.
Education. Okay, but I think it should have been free vocational training than free SHS, because after the vocational training, you just go out there and do your work. But after free SHS, we all know that they did free SHS because they realized that most of us cannot pay their fees. So if we can't pay common SHS fees, what should say? They will pay university fees.
This free education thing, even looking at everything from day one, things was not well implemented. I don't want to be political. I don't want to mention anybody. Yes, but things was not really implemented, because if you can remember, this free SHS thing was there long time ago, before this 8 years. It was, yes, it's me for instance, I attended free SHS. By then, everything was fair. Then we're just buying 1 or 2 books. That's all. But this time around, everything was a mess up, because things was not really put in place. I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to mention any government, but things was not really put in place. And that's what had affected our sisters and brothers so badly. And then I think coming forward, things should be put in place. For now that we have a new government, we'll also urge that they will put things together for us, so that our sisters and our brothers can enjoy the free SHS overall.
Well, I agree that free SHS has sacrificed, quality for quantity, because one, we all know how quantity over quality ends up. And if our government was really interested to give us, free education, he should have put in place a whole system that would govern this free education well, for us to benefit, not to just go through it like how we're, going into the sea to just swim and come out. It's very important to take things serious in a country. And this free education, as my sister said, it's been here not today. And I think what they should have done is go to the private sectors that are in the country, help them build more infrastructures that would help the free education stay in place and for a long time, not just for a short time. As she said, not to politicize it, but it is for our own good. And we need to take things serious, things very serious, things that will bring, good change into the country. We need to take it serious. So I really agree that they have chosen quantity over quality.
You see, people don't understand why the free education was needed. I go back to the poverty rate in Ghana. That made people know to be able to afford education. And everybody needs education. This is not politics. The more educated you are, the more we are able to hold people accountable when they are lying.
But what's the quality?
Hold on.
What's the quality?
Hold on. I understand you.
Now, even before this,
I am saying that
we're going to school.
The quality will have been there when we have enough structures.
True.
I said it. You guys just don't want to listen and you think it's political. No, we need the structures. The structure needs to come in. I said it from the beginning. If the structures was there, we don't need to have 300 students in a class.